found these pretty china teacups at an estate sale, along with this old shutter. I began by taking the shutters apart. I only wanted to use the solid one for this project. And those pretty cups, they were going to need to be cut down to fit flush to the shutter. I marked and cut 6 teacups. Using a Dremel cutting tool, I scored a U shape into the cup, then continued to run the tool back and forth until the piece was cut completely through. Now for those pretty saucers. To be safe, I placed them in a shallow box and broke them into lots of pieces. I began to apply the mastic to the shutter, and I gently but firmly pressed my first teacup into the mastic, and then I began to add pieces of the pretty saucers. Because my shutter had a recessed panel, I added mastic to the groove in the shutter until the entire surface was even. After about 3 hours, the mastic was dry and it was time to grout. I used a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser type sponge to apply the grout, and a soft cloth to remove the excess. My planter was going to hold live plants, and I was going to put it outside, so I needed to waterproof it by spraying the front and the back with water seal. I placed a little bit of pea gravel in the bottom of each cup for drainage, and then I planted ground cover plants called treadwells. I hope this inspires you to create a planter for your outdoor space this spring.
So this cinder block I had left over from a previous project. I also had all this broken glass that I've been saving in this bucket. So I began by taking my broken down pieces and laying them on top of the flat surface of my cinder block in a pattern that I thought was pleasing. I then also had the idea to incorporate these letters. I picked these up super cheap for like $2. They were left over from a letter board and the letters didn't get sold, so they just wanted to sell them off super cheap at a home decor store. So I placed them here in the word bloom on top of the cinder block. I did have to cut off the piece that goes into the letter board so that they would sit more flat. And then I continued to layer in my pieces of broken glass in a pattern that made sense to me and that looked good. So I had all these pretty flower pieces from a broken teacup. I layered these on, and then I took some liquid nails, and then I just began applying the pieces down piece by piece, making sure that they were glued securely. You don't have to worry about over oozing glue underneath of your letters and your pieces, because I am going to go ahead and cover this with grout, so if the glue oozes out, it's not a big deal. I made sure to let the liquid nails set for at least 12 hours. Once the glue is set, I came in with this pre-mixed grout, and then I began to grout over top of the broken glass and the letters. You can use regular grout that you have to mix yourself. I just find the pre-mixed grout super easy to work with. It's ready to go, and then I can just continue on with my project. So I used a putty knife, making sure that I got it into all the cracks and the grooves in between the glass pieces and my letters. I did go very heavy with the grout just because I wanted to make sure that it got into all the cracks and grooves. Then I took a wet sponge and I began to sponge off the majority of the grout to reveal the glass and the letters underneath. And I continued working until you could see all of the glass and the letters. I made sure to scrape around the sides as well to make sure that no grout was overhanging in a messy look. Once I had done this and applied it all and made sure that it was clean and ready to go, I let this set for at least a day and a half. Then once it was done, I could go ahead and place it in my garden and set it up with some cute, adorable plants. So here is my finished cinder block. I think this is such a creative project. I am so happy with how it turned out. And the beauty of this project is you can take this idea and do whatever you like with it. I really hope that you enjoyed this one. Thanks so much for tuning into Home Talk, and we'll see you on another video.
Take a planter, flip it over, and move it to the side on your terracotta bottom. Take some multi-purpose glue that you can use indoor and out, and glue all the points that'll touch the bottom of your pot down to the terracotta. And then let it sit for just about 30 minutes. While you're waiting for the base to dry, start breaking up some pine cones. Start at the top of the pine cone and make your way down slowly. You're going to want a couple pine cones. Some of the pieces will crack when you're peeling them off, but that's okay. You can always use more of the pine cones. If you used fresh pine cones, a good way to remove a bunch of the sap is by putting some salt into your hands and a little bit of dish soap and rubbing it together and then rinsing them off. You're going to want to start off at the bottom of your container. Put a little bit of hot glue onto the top of your piece of pine cone. and then slowly press it onto the bottom. From there, keep putting pieces of pine cone on until you go all the way around. Leave just about an inch at the bottom and start to put some hot glue down. On that piece of hot glue, glue down a little bit of pine brush. And make sure to glue down the bottom as well. And then cut off any extra pine needles that hang too low from the bottom. You can also trim the top a little bit to make everything even. Continue putting pieces of pine cone on. Overlap the last layer with the next. Avoid putting pine cone over where the pine needles are. That's actually going to be a door. When you get over to where the pine needles are, start to border it with pieces of pine cone. Make sure to not overlap it fully and totally. For the top of the pine needles, overlap the pieces of pine cone just slightly to hide the top. Now that this portion of the container is covered fully, we're going to put it off to the side and then go back to the bottom. For the bottom portion, I'm going to fill the terracotta with a little bit of dirt and spread it out evenly. And I'm going to fill in that area with a little bit of moss. If you don't want to fill your terracotta with moss, you can always leave it empty and have a double bird bath. You're going to want to fill this container, but don't fill it fully to the top. Leave a little bit of space so the other container can sit. Once your container is full enough, but not fully and totally to the top, spread out some of the dirt and rock, and then take your next container and line it to the side. Make sure it lays flat. And you're going to want to secure this top portion in place. I'm using some metal skewers. The holes that are in the bottom here are perfect for pushing these through. You could always use wood dowels, or you could use something else by drilling a hole in the bottom of your container. You will also want to weigh this down a little bit by adding a couple rocks and or some dirt. For this top section here, you're going to want to use a generous amount of glue. Go around the entire top and then press on a plastic basin. This is going to take about 30 minutes or so to dry, so wait patiently. To secure the basin even further, add some glue around where it sits on the pot. When the top is drying, decorate the bottom container. I'm using a little bit of moss just because it'll grow very well into the dirt and rock that's there. You can also use more rocks, or you can always use foliage from outside. Before I bring this outside, I'm going to add a little bit more decoration and just simply line the bottom of this container and the next container up with some rocks. Now that our bird bath is fully decorated and the top is dry, it's time to bring it outside.